Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 912 for the 23rd of August for the Ukraine war or the special military operation in Ukraine. And it's a Saturday. It's already almost finished for me, but for some of you, it may be just the start of the Saturday. So have a great weekend. For those that watches the DPA open mic, the open mic will be tomorrow because tomorrow morning, my morning, I have a football match. So no, just in case. For those that never know what is DPA open mic, do check it out. It's basically us, you and me, geek it out. We just went geek it out. We just chit chat and talk about geopolitics, war, military, economics, and culture, anything. So we're gonna start off with the KURSK front. The KURSK front continues. The Ukrainians continue to be attacking this region here. One of these major news was the alleged drone attack on the KURSK nuclear power plant, reported by Ryber. There is an FPV drone that was shot down near the spent nuclear fuel storage facility. I don't know much about this thing, and there might be a case where the drone is not even attacking the nuclear power plant. Who knows? Maybe it's just flying past and then it got shot down. That is always a possibility. So not sure about that. The Russian forces has been shelling a lot of Ukrainian positions over in Bryansk region of the Bryansk, Kursk, Sumy border region. There's a lot of shelling around here at a Serida Buda. What is this? Svisa, Performaisky, Bashivsk, and this very hard to pronounce name, Tovsto Dubove. So there's all this shelling around here, and including Shuhiv. Yesterday, in case you didn't catch it, it's because I reported this all the way at the very end. The Russians actually launched an attack in this region here at the border crossing over here. What happened is that there is the Russian armor driving along this road, and then they are firing at the Ukrainian along the border. So, and I told the viewers yesterday that this is a message. It's a message by the Russians having a full armored column firing at the border is to warn the Ukrainians that the Russian main forces is here. So, and the amount of shelling around here might suggest that the Ukrainians may have some grouping of forces that is ready to probably do another incursion possibly in this region here, and a major attack from this sector may complement the Kursk offensive very, very well, because this is the border between Kursk and Bryansk. So this is a perfect place, and there's a highway around here. Then Ukrainians can basically quickly drive down the highway all the way to the next oblast, which is actually the Orion. I don't know how to pronounce this. Oreo Oblast, no, because they have Oreo over there. So no, Oreo is nice to eat. So that could be the case. This is not very far. If you drive down, it's 120 kilometers. You'll probably get there in 1 hour if you drive at 120 kilometers per hour. So, but of course, they can't drive that fast. Anyway, this is a possibility, and of course, a Ukrainian incursion in this direction will complicate the Russians' defense work in this region here extremely a lot. Very, very complicated for the Russians. However, the Russians showed their presence by having their armored, having a show, a show and tell in a way over there. It reminds the way how they operated reminds me of the Israeli start of the ground offensive against Gaza, where they also did the same thing. They basically drive parallel to the houses, and then they just fired, and something similar. So I believe this is just a message that the Russians are sending to the Ukrainians, and so let's see. Because I heard from Daniel Davis video where he was talking with John Mearsheimer. So he quoted Whip Union and Military Summary talking about a huge gathering of forces, of Ukrainian forces around this region here, or probably including Kharkiv, and Military Summary claimed that 1/3 of the Ukrainian armed forces are here. Personally, I have no idea. I've never seen this information at all. I do not believe that the Ukrainians would dare to, not dare, but it would not do a lot as well. No, they could try, but I personally don't have all this information, so I'm not sure. So other shelling reports, not that important. I can cover this later. So we go to the front line in KURSK. So in the western front of KURSK, there is no fighting reported in the south, in the Venezepenoy region or the Gordievka region. The fighting is still largely within this area. Ukrainians are still trying to push Kirenevo, but there's no success, and there is geolocation of Ukrainian forces getting hit by FPV drone as they are holding the grounds in Ogievka or Ogovka. So this is a disaster for the Ukrainians because, like I said, if the Ukrainians decided to hold grounds, and which means the front line is going to become static, it's going to be a disaster for them, and it seems like that's going to be the case over there. In this Snagorsk region, the Russian forces continue to be either counter-attack or continue to shell Ukrainian forces within this region. It's unclear because of the way how the Russians wrote the report. They said that they use army aviation, artillery strike, and actions of troops to inflict losses. So it could be anything. It could be ground attack, it could be drone attack, it could be artillery, it could be airstrike. Whatever it is, the Ukrainians are in this region here, and they are getting struck by the Russian forces in these few settlements. The Ukrainians continue their assault towards Komarovka, which the Russians are still holding the lines over there. So very problematic situation for both sides actually. The Ukrainians need to break out from this area here. The Russians cannot allow them to break out from this area, and situation is difficult for both sides. There is shelling reported in this region as well. So Vishnevka as well as Penosovka both are being reported to be shelled, on top of the Russian report about the attack on this region here. So Ukrainians still do not have a strong position around this area here. They have a strong position in the sense that they are still holding the position, but they are still getting hammered. So let's see how this develop around here. So we move on. In the northern flank, we have no reports, except for there was a report by the Russian Defense Ministry about the fighting near Kamishevka, where they discovered some recon forces. However, Ryba wrote Komishovka, quoting the Russian Defense Ministry. So that's a bit weird because Kamishevka and Kamishovka is actually two different places. So I'm also confused. So whatever it is, the Ukrainians are trying to recon this region here, or reconnaissance, or scout, depending on the language that you prefer. And the Russians probably are in this region here, and they got wiped out. So whatever the place is. So this is the only thing that we have basically in the northern flank of the KURSK front. This very exciting, push towards Alexandrovka, there's no more news about it. So it's a bit weird. A bit disappointing for me as well. I thought there would be like more drama. So over in the central flank, I would say this is the eastern flank. There is Ukrainians continue assault over at Malaya Lognia. Russian forces are shelling or attacking Alexandria, as well as Yuzhny. So I'm not sure this is a shelling or just attack. It most likely could be shelling, but a Russian attack is not beyond belief, because the Russian lines are not really that far away. Ukrainian forces are geolocated in Kotsitsa, getting hit by a Lancet. Armored vehicle got destroyed over at Kotsitsa. So the situation here is very static. It's almost like positional. So Ukrainians still have not captured Malaya Lognia. So so much for all this encirclement. The Russians are encircled at Malaya Lognia. Yeah, this is why you need to watch DPA, especially if you are pro-Ukrainian, because I don't cope. So if you watch too much copium, you'll become stupid. Don't be stupid. Be like a Chad, a super Chad, a giga Chad. Be a DPA army officer. Although honestly, if you're pro-Ukrainian and you watch to this point, you are already the cream de la cream, the cream of the crop. You are already the best among the pro-Ukrainian guys. So my respect to you. So because usually emotional damage can be very, very traumatic. So over in the Sudzha region, Russian forces are attacking Mikhailovka, and Ukrainians are holding Mikhailovka. Ukrainians continue to attack Ruskaya Konopelka, and Ukrainian forces, there's a tank geolocated within the Ruskaya Konopelka, probably in reaction to the BMP3 attack. and this tank got destroyed by a Lancet, unfortunately. So there's I think a Lancet, if I'm not wrong. So there was a tank, basically the Ukrainian tank over at this position, and then it got destroyed by the Russians. But however, this positioning of the tank means that the area here most likely is under Ukrainian control. There might be infantry, going into the houses and holding the line around here with the tank in fire support role. However, modern warfare sucks, for everyone in the front line, because everybody is using cheat codes. So even you have a tank, in a holding position, in the reserve fire support position, it still get destroyed because the Russians use the cheat code LANCET. Then they enter, and then boom, there goes it. So all these hackers and cheaters, who want to play this game? Okay, so over the southern flank, Russian forces are attacking or shelling Plakhovo, and then the Russians are attacking Spanoye, and there is geolocation of Russian forces already in Spanoye, which means this confirms Russians attack in the Spanoye region. And the Ukrainian forces, let me see, did I write wrongly? Okay, according to the Russian Defense Ministry, they say that they have repelled an attack towards Borky. So towards Borky might suggest Russians have captured Borky, but no, that is not a way. It is a bit difficult for me to just anyhow draw the border and say the Russians have Borky. It can be anything. So tentatively, I draw it basically, in the region of Borky. Maybe the Ukrainians still holding Borky. Maybe they're pushing out Borky. Maybe they don't have it, and the Russians actually has already recaptured it. Nobody have any ideas because there is no evidence. Nobody want to talk about it. Everybody just want to thumb their chest and and just feel good about themselves. So yeah, I'm a bit different. I don't need to feel good about myself. I just want you guys to feel bad about yourself. So let's go on over just some of the shelling reports. We have some shelling reports. Okay, so over in the Guevo, Mirapilia, and Militia region, these are all reserve positions, probably in support of the operations around on the southern flank. Mauritia is probably a secondary reserve position. Not sure. Generally they just keep getting shelled, so it is what it is. And then over in this region here, there's shelling reported at Vorozhba, Pelivka, as well as this is called Obodi. This is where I previously said that most likely the Ukrainians may launch an attack from the south towards the north direction towards Grushkovo, in together with an attack at Tekhino, as well as this breakthrough coming from the east. However, we're not sure. There's further shelling over at Buryakine, as well as in Nova Sloboda. I got scammed. This is Svoboda and this is Sloboda. Freaking hell. So anyway, this could be also another incursion possibility, heading up to the northward while the Russians get distracted. So there's a lot of possible tactical strategic play that the Ukrainians can do, and maybe the Russians are observing all these Ukrainian forces and they are shelling them to make sure that the plan kept getting delayed. There is a possibility. So there's a huge conundrum for the Ukrainians as well. You can get up the reserve forces, you can get up offensive forces, but the longer you delay, the higher chance you get detected and then you get destroyed. And then you can't do your offensive. And it is very difficult because the Russians keep playing cheat code. These freaking hackers. So there's shelling report at Kayamka. I'm not sure if this is the correct Kayamka, but I'll just make do with this for now. Because I searched Kayamka and this came up. So whatever it is. So not important. Shelling reports are generally not that important because we are more concerned about frontline changes. So over at the Kharkiv front. At the Kharkiv front, the Ukrainian... Did I mark it wrongly? Yeah, I marked it wrongly. I did it the opposite. Give me a second. Done. So I marked it wrong. It's Russian attacks. I accidentally, my brain wasn't working when I was mapping this, and I marked it as Ukrainian attacks. So Russian forces are attacking at Klipoke. Staresia as well as Voschansk. And there is geolocation of Ukrainian forces getting hit in the Klipoke region. There is Russian strikes on Ukrainian armored personnel carriers. So maybe the Ukrainians were trying to do some attack again, and then they got discovered and then got destroyed. So that is a possibility as well. So it is what it is. This is war. That is how it goes. So let's move on. Over at the Kupiansk front, Russian forces are attacking at Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, and somehow Kurilivka. So I'm not sure how they get this. Maybe it's a direction in the direction of Kurilivka. Maybe from the this is a Mankovka tract. Maybe, or maybe it's coming from Zagorovkivka. Whatever it is, there is some attack in the direction or in the area of Kurilivka. So Russians are making some actions around here. Is reported by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. But yeah, from experience, you and me know nothing is going to happen around here. Over in the Pischane sector, we only have fighting reported at Stemakivka, and that's about it. Nothing over in the Pischane region. Moving in further south, over at the Svetove front, we have fighting reported in the region of towards Druzhelyubivka and Makievka and Nevsky. Over the Makievka region, there is a geolocation of Russian forces in Makievka, confirming Russian capture or advance within the eastern bank of the Zerbets River at the Makievka settlement. So there is still quite a bit more to go before we can confirm the Russian mapping. Moving into the further south into the Kremina front. At the Kremina front, we have fighting reported towards Novosadove, Terny, and Torsky in the Kremina front, which is here, this Kremina. So that's all for the Kremina front. Moving into the Sivers front, Sivers offensive, in my opinion, is still ongoing. Russian forces are attacking Bilohorivka, Verkhovokanyamsky, Sperne, as well as Vimka. So this is ongoing, continuing. No frontline changes is always very suspicious. Hopefully, we have some dramatic ones when the intel finally drops. Because if not, it's going to be so boring. Yeah, it doesn't matter who wins to me. I just want drama. Then I can tell you more stories. So over in the Bakhmut front, at the Bakhmut front, the Russian forces are fighting in the region of Kalinina, Chasivya, and Ivanisky. I'm not sure if this attempt to draw Ukrainian forces back in to pay attention to Chasivya, but the Russian offensive into Chasivya never happens. And I told you already, there's no reasons for the Russians to take Chasivya. It don't make sense to try to capture Chasivya. The terrain is terrible, and it should be bypassed. So, and a lot of people really sincerely believe that the Russians is going to attack. They call it the Chasivya offensive and whatnot. Never happened. So it's stinky. It's stinky. Yeah. So as stinky, the Lancer hits a Ukrainian tank because it's stinky. So yeah, don't be stinky, and then you will not attract Lancers. Moving into the New York front. Before I start on the New York front, I want to welcome a new family member into New York, which is Kalinove. So we have chopped this area here and enter. This area here is now part of the New York front due to as we go on the front line reformation. Because Kalinove is pretty much I think we can go to the New York front, because the other side, this is now the Pokrovsk front. So there's no more Adiyevka front. The Adiyevka front, I have just retired it. So this is the first time we see the joining of Kalinove into the New York front. And in the New York front, we have battles over at Torex. Again, and the Zalizny region at Nemlipivka, as well as Kalinove. So particularly, we want to go into the Torex sector. In the Torex sector, we have I already mentioned to you guys before, the Russian forces are pushing from the east. And I believe that to a full offensive will have to be in the Pincers kind of situation coming from the south. And this is now confirmed with the Russian forces geolocated in the southern neighborhood of Torex. And this neighborhood has a name, it's called Zabalka. And the Russian forces are attacking into this region here. I believe there's still going to be one more vector of attack coming through this this forest through the cemetery and the Dacha region and through into the center. I believe this will be another vector of attack to secure the forest region. So, and then if the front line become this long, then Torres will fall very, very quickly, because from my understanding, the Russians do have some kind of a manpower advantage in the New York front. So this pincer operation is now on. So very, very interesting that we are now seeing this happen. And so this geolocated, so is cannot be disputed. It is what it is. Fighting is reported at Nelipivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry, and it's important to note they didn't mention New York. They did not mention New York. So there's no fighting at New York. So the only fighting is reported at Nelipivka. Yesterday, we have New York. Now, there's no more New York in the report. To believe that there is fighting at Nelipivka and no fighting at New York is inconceivable. So which means that New York is now quietly being considered that they have lost it. So let's wait for the final concession, that they have lost it. So over at the Pokrov sector, at the Pokrov front, welcome to Pokrov front. This is the first time we have Pokrov front. It is a long time coming. Pokrov is merely 10-11 kilometers away from the front line. Whereas Avdiivka is like, from the furthest point to Avdiivka is like 30 kilometers. It's almost 30 kilometers. It's almost as far as the Ukrainian incursion into Kursk. So it is only rightful that we have to think about the changing of the naming of the fronts. So Pokrov front has born, and long live the Avdiivka front. It won't be very long because they're going to change the name of Avdiivka, I think, for the Russians. Also, anyway, over at the Pokrov front, so let's keep Pokrov in view. Strategically, we have the Russians attacking towards Zelenye Pole, Vozdevizhenka, Horodivka, Krasnaya, Novohorodivka, towards Mikhailivka, towards Kalinove. Okay, first thing, they reported Kalinove. There is two Kalinoves here. One here and the other one is over at the New York front. It's over here. This Kalinove and this Kalinove. So don't blame me. I have no idea which Kalinove they're talking about. So it's a Ukrainian thing. We don't understand it. So anyway, they could have given them numbers. Kalinove 1, 2, 3 or Kalinove 529. No. Everybody's Kalinove. The taxi driver must have a very, very hard job. I would like to go to Mykolaiivka. It's like, there's one Mykolaiivka here, there's one Mykolaiivka here, and then I believe there's another Mykolaiivka here. Yeah, and these just 3 on this screen. There's a lot more Mykolaiivkas around. So, yeah. So, yeah, welcome to Ukraine. Then the Russians are attacking Pitishe, and so some major things. First thing first, is over at the Horodivka region, another pincer is developing around here. Russian forces already have a foothold over on the eastern flank or southeastern flank of Horodivka. Russian forces in the latest mapping from the Deep State UA, from the Ukrainian sources, has shown that the Russians have taken the tree line and they're on the verge of entering from the south into Horodivka. And once you have this pincer developing, the Ukrainian forces is unlikely to hold the position very much longer. So we might see the fall of Horodivka, in the near future. Russian forces are attacking in the area of Krasnaya. We do not know how or where, and I really dread the time when fighting comes to Mykolaiivka, because I really have no idea which Mykolaiivka they're going to be talking about. Hopefully, don't fight all the Mykolaiivka at the same time, because the other Mykolaiivka is very, very near. So let's see how this goes. In the Novohorodivka region, Russian claims that they have secured the entire western areas of Olivka. And geolocation have confirmed the Russians have entered Novohorodivka for good. And there is some Russian claims about the roads as well that they have captured. So the Battle of Novohorodivka has also begun. So, they have to take on 2 first boss at the same time. Why attack one boss when you can attack 2 bosses? So anyway, moving further south from this area here, in the southern flank, Russian forces southern area, Russian forces are attacking in the direction of Mikhailivka. So this is ongoing. No idea what's the situation right here around for now. And over in the Pitishe region, Russian claims that they have this Russian, yeah. Russian claims that they have reached the outskirts of Kalinove, and geolocation also confirmed Russian progress in the west, in the opposite bank at Skushny. Russian force in the Russian mapping, Pitishe confirms to be captured by the Russian forces, but this is not corroborated by the Ukrainian side yet, so I'm not going to put the flag yet unless there is more objective proof. But most likely it is the case because the Russians has already installed the red banner in Pitishe, but most likely Pitishe is already lost it. Good English, you see? That's why you need to study hard. Anyway, I have very poor English, so yeah. So we go into the Donetsk front. So that's all from the Pokrovsk front. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. So there, the Ukrainians have already started to dismantle some of the Ukrainian infrastructure in Selidove as well as Pokrovsk. So in Selidove, the ATMs are allegedly being dismantled. Shops are being closed. Then humanitarian aid stop being issued. In Pokrovsk, the center of the Ministry of Internal Affairs has closed, and now the closest of this center is now in Kramatorsk, which is pretty far away. So the Ukrainians are now bracing themselves for the Russians' arrival, but they spend time in Kursk. It is a bit like, you have a wife, then it's like, hi dear, we really have no more money. We need to save up. Things are getting bad. And then the wife say, it's okay, I understand. And we will be flying to Europe, or flying to Japan or Thailand, for a holiday next week. The kind of situation. So yeah. So anyway, over at Kharlivka, over in the Donetsk front, this area here, Kharlivka and Nevelsky has been cut into the Donetsk front because because this is no longer at the Avdiivka front and this is nowhere close to Pokrovsk. So this is the main reason why I cut it into the Donetsk front, back to the home, the mom. Because all of these fronts, Avdiivka front, Bakhmut front, New York front, they are all actually part of Donetsk Oblast. They are all part of the Donetsk fronts. So just in case you do not know, this is some lore, LORE lore, DPA lore. So the long time viewers would understand. They totally know what I'm talking about. So Russian forces are attacking Kharlivka. Russian forces geolocated, and this is a surprise to me because I didn't expect them to start to attack Kharlivka. So Russian forces are now geolocated to be on and having a strong secure position in the east. Looks like they're going to continue to push. So yeah, this offensive operation just surprises me. So let's see how this develops. Over the Marinka sector, the Russian forces are still battling in the Battle of Krasnohorivka. Russian forces geolocated in the southwest of Krasnohorivka, confirming Russian securement. Is that a word? Of the southern flank, and they are pushing out in some kind of offensive. These are armored column, so not sure where they are going. So let's see how this develops. There is fighting reported at Georgievka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Moving into the south in the Konstantinivka-Voleda region, fighting is reported in the Battle of Konstantinivka. Fighting is the south of Konstantinivka towards Vodian and towards Voleda. So you can see this is the entire line is actually being engaged around here. So yeah, very cursed. So we move all the way. The rest of the Donetsk front is pretty quiet. There's no more fighting over at the Velika Novosibirsk sector. Prashestivka also stopped getting molested. We move into the Zaporizhia front. There's no reports of fighting around this region here. And go into the Kherson front. Some people say it's Kherson front. I say it's Kherson front. So because Kherson is tastier. There is geolocation of the MLRS getting destroyed. Geolocated by military summary, they call it a MLRS. According to the video say it's a HIMARS. But when I look at the video, that vehicle looked like a M270 or a Mars 2 MLRS. So it's the bigger version of the HIMARS. So it got destroyed in the town of Berezhnevate. So yeah, yeah, it makes sense to have a HIMARS there because this is this is the perfect location to fire at Crimea, which the Ukrainians should really just give up striking Crimea. It's really not that important militarily. It's a waste of time. Whatever it is, the Ukrainians also launched another useless thing called the amphibious operation. So they tried to land on the southern bank of the Dnieper River, according to the Russian Defense Ministry, and they did not work out. Apparently, they got stopped by artillery fire, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. They did not indicate exactly where the amphibious assault or attempted landing was. They only said the island regions of Dnieper. So just take it with a pinch of salt where it is. Yeah, like why the Ukrainians keep doing this this kind of thing? Like, cringy is not enough? So yeah. Anyway, that's it. This is the summary of the situation report for the day of 912 for the 23rd of August. Do press the like button and subscribe. If you watch to this point, it only makes perfect sense to press the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next update, and enjoy your Saturday and Sunday. See you guys in the next update. I repeated that twice.